Hi, welcome to Chris Cook for YouTube. Tonight I'm going to be making cornbread, but this is an unusual style of cornbread. I got this recipe from one of my channel friends. His name is the Pohto. So when you get an opportunity, go over to his channel and view some of his recipes. He has a lot of interesting ways of preparing his foods, but it looks mighty tasty. So I decided to try this. I have tried his chili, and his chili is excellent. So now I want to try his cornbread. I want to introduce you all to that, and he has another recipe that I would like to try. I'll probably be trying it in the upcoming weeks, and that's going to be his cheese and broccoli casserole. So let's get started. What he does is, I'll introduce what it is that he puts in his. He has this. We're going to start with the cornmeal. Now I'm using different measurements because I'm going to make a larger batch of it. So this, I have 2 cups of cornmeal mix. That's what he used. And your cornmeal mix just has everything in it. It has your flour, your baking powder, your salt, and everything. So he uses 2 cups of cornmeal mix. To that, I'm going to add 1 cup of buttermilk. This is buttermilk, but you can use regular white milk if that's what you prefer. I have 2 eggs. I have some cooking grease or cooking oil that I have used, and I just put a teaspoon of butter in there and melted it down. So this is cooking oil and butter mixed, and we're talking about probably about 3 tablespoons full. Then I have some Monterey Jack cheese. Now, he does use cheese in this recipe, but he uses a cheddar, I think, and I think it's more of a binding agent. I just wanted to use this Monterey Jack, and I wanted it to act as a binding agent as well, because I don't want this cornbread to pull apart until I'm ready for it to pull apart. Now, he also adds 2 jalapeno peppers. Because I want mine to be kid friendly, I'm using 1 jalapeno pepper. Then I'm going to add onions, and you all know I really pretty much love onions anyway. So this is about a little bit less than a cup of onion. These items are sauteed. Now, he uses a different product than what I'm going to use. This is ham bits that I just kind of chopped up fine, and I had it left over from I think it was my Thanksgiving dinner when I baked the ham, and I just took some pieces off because I normally just save my bones. So I just took some pieces off so that I could use it in my beans, but I took this off before I did my beans for the New Year's, and this is what I had left. So I'm going to add to this cornbread. This is just some finely chopped up ham. And to give it a little bit more taste, I'm going to put a tablespoonful of green pepper or bell pepper in this. Now these 4 items here, 1, 2, 3, and 4, I'm going to saute in my skillet. So let's get started with that process. Okay, over here I already have a skillet that is heating. Might not be high enough, so I'll turn it up just a little bit. To that skillet, I'm going to add my ham. Now, the reason why I'm putting in the ham first is because I wanted to render off just a little bit of the fat to give me enough to cook the rest of the items. So, I'm going to prepare this ham, saute this ham. I'm going to add to it the green pepper, and I'm going to add the jalapeno pepper and the onions to this. Get it all sauteed up together. When I do that, then I'll get back to you. Okay, I've sauteed the vegetables and I've sauteed the ham, so let's get started. Now, I want to show you this ham because this was country ham. This is not just your regular store-bought sliced ham. This was ham that I had left over from, like I said, I think it's from Thanksgiving. I'm not really sure. But anyway, this is country ham, your onions, your jalapeno peppers, and a little bit of bell pepper that I sauteed on the stove. Now, I'm going to get started with the recipe because I think the country ham actually adds a little bit more flavor. So what he does is he starts out by putting his milk in his bowl. And I'm using buttermilk, as I did state. Okay. To the milk, he adds the eggs. And he mixes that, which is what I'm doing. And you know your eggs acts as a binding agent too. One thing I do want to mention, you won't get a lot of taste from Monterey Jack cheese, and I think that's the reason why I chose to use that particular brand of cheese, because I don't want to get a cheesy taste from this, because this cornbread is going to be used on the dinner plate, and I have a lot of other flavors that are going to be mixing in. Okay, to that he adds the oil. Or he uses cooking grease, you know, some that he had left over, which is the same thing that I'm doing. Another thing too, if you don't get enough fat from whatever meat it is that you're sauteing the vegetables with, like I did here, just go ahead and add like a teaspoon of whatever kind of oil you have, you know, whether it be old cooking oil or whatever. Don't add a lot, because you don't want to pick up a large oily flavor from that particular item. You want this to do the oil part of your meal. Okay, now to that he adds his cornmeal mix, which is exactly what I'm doing. Okay, now, because I am doing a little bit more than he did, I'm using just a little bit, you know, I'm going for a little bit more than he did. I'm going to add, since I have some buttermilk still left in the bottom of here, I'm just going to add a little bit more, I'm going to add a water to this, just a little bit more liquids, because it looks like I'm going to need just a little bit more. But you don't want to cook it like cornbread. You don't want to over add. So you see I'm only adding just a little bit, just to give me a little bit more of a creamy consistency, so I can get all of the ingredients down over in there. Now to this, and in what order I don't know, but this is the order I'm going to do it. I'm going to add the sauteed vegetables, and I'm going to tell you something. These vegetables smell so good, I could just toss a couple of eggs over in there, go ahead, make me an omelet, and sit down and go to eat. Okay. Now, I've added that to the mix. Okay, and the last item that I'm going to add is my Monterey Jack cheese. And like I told you, you're not going to get a lot of flavor from it. Not Monterey Jack, you're not. And I didn't want to get flavor. What I wanted to do is to use it primarily as a binding agent. Okay. Now you see that consistency? It is kind of thick. It's not like you, it's almost like you could spoon put it into your pan for your cornbread. Okay, that's the consistency you want. You don't want it any looser than this. Okay. Everything is mixed, so I'm going to step away and get one more item. Be right back. And this is where his plot thickens. He uses a cast iron skillet. I'm going to use my corn fritter pan. Here is what he does to his. He now takes bacon, which I have here. Got a little onion on there. And he lays his bacon inside of his cast iron skillet. I don't have I have a cast iron skillet, but I'm not using that. I'm going to make corn fritters out of this. So what I'm going to do is to take the bacon and lay it on the bottom of each cast iron fritter. And this is very hot. When I went to remove it, I removed it from the oven when I stepped away. And you can hear the sizzle. So it's hot. I told you he has an interesting way of cooking. He has several things that he has prepared. And I'll look at it and then I'll say, man, I never saw that. I never thought you could do it that way. I've never tried it that way. and it works for him. So, and you can learn something from everybody. I try to learn as much as I can from as many people as I can. And if I tell you to go and view somebody, I'm not going to tell you anything that's wrong, because I've already tried their recipes and it's been tried and tested. And I think he's a very good cook. I think you would really benefit from going to his site and subscribing. Now, if you look real close, you can tell it is hot because you can see my bacon even sizzling over inside of the pan. Now, and you can use a cast iron skillet, so I don't want you going out buying this fritter pan, not unless you already have one. So now, we're going to take our mix, and we're going to put it on top. And I'm going to spoon mine because I'm using a fritter pan right on top of my bacon. I know I never thought it would work either, but this is the way he does it, and I've seen it work. So I know that this should really come out well. Now we're going to cook this in the oven, and we're going to cook it at, I think he's cooking it at 450 degrees for about 20 minutes. Then when we take it out, we're going to let it sit for about 10 minutes. And then we're going to get them out. Now, it smells fantastic. And I know that this is a surprising recipe for many of you. And if you have a recipe and you want me to try it, you think it'll really work, it'll really benefit some people, because we're supposed to give back. We're supposed to be able to give back. Just send it to me. Just make sure that your instructions on how to do it is very plain. Now, I'm going to serve this. I was supposed to do this yesterday because I was supposed to be serving it with my New Year's meal. I didn't even have any cornbread for my New Year's meal because, I mean, I was so tired New Year's Day. And when I did get up, I just wanted to rest. You ever had one of those days where you just want to sit around and do nothing? That was yesterday for me. So I didn't do anything. So I still have some leftovers from yesterday. So we're going to kind of replay and make yesterday be today. And I'm going to show you what this looks like once you put it down on the plate with the rest of your food. So this is actually the first time I'm trying this recipe. I saw him do it. And you see it's stiff. It's not runny cornmeal. Okay. So we're going to take this. I'm going to put it in a 450 degree oven. I'm going to let this cook for roughly, 25 to 30 minutes. And we'll see how this comes back. So I'm going to place it in my oven. 450 degrees. There it is, and I'll get back to you once it's back and the cornbread is all finished. So I just want to show you how it came out. This is the Pohto's cornbread. I just changed it to Fritters. And right here, I had to cut between because mine were so close together. And he flips his out. I really want you to see how he make it. But I didn't want to flip mine out because I have it in this fritter pan. So what I'm going to do is, and this is what I did not show you yesterday, the meal that I prepared. Of course, I go along with tradition. I did greens, peas, and I did barbecued pig's feet. And if a lot of you aren't familiar with that, that's a very old school recipe. But right now, let's put his cornbread to the test. So we're gonna get it out. There's his bacon on the bottom. Came out perfect. As you can see, there's no problem with my pan. And I didn't think that it would be, and that's because this bacon is on the bottom of it. So I knew that it would be, it would be okay. Here you got a little bit of crumbs. But the only reason why you got that is because of me going overboard with the mix. I kind of ate that one. But I just want to give this a little taste. And we got to cut because he got bacon on the bottom of this. That little bit I ate on the side, it was really good. So let's just see. And this is, before I take this bite and can't talk, this is the kind of meal I want to try this with, because everything that's in his cornbread kind of complemented my meal. That's why I leaned back on the cheese a little bit, and I didn't want to get a lot of the cheese flavors, but I did the onions, the green peppers, the jalapeno peppers. All of that complements what I'm having, what I did have for New Year's Day. So let's try it. This is good. This is real good. You can taste the bacon. You can taste the onions. I can taste everything in it. This is really, really, really good. And I didn't do it too hot. And the reason for that is because I do have children, and I wanted to make it kid friendly. So the jalapeno pepper that's inside of it is just a little bit of a kick to it. It's very, very mild. So this is what we have for you today. I have pig's feet, black-eyed peas, barbecue pig's feet, black-eyed peas. I have greens, and of course I have the Pohto's cornbread. Go over to his site. That's the P-H, let me see, no, I got it wrong. P-O-H-T-O, the Pohto, the P-O-H-T-O. Go into his site, check out his menus, or check out his dishes that he's prepared, and try something, because I guarantee you that you will like it. This has been tried and tested. I do appreciate you watching me tonight. Happy New Year's to you all, and thank you for watching Chris Cook for You Too.